Hello, my name is Felix Ndieki. I am making this video with a lot of sadness because it involves betrayal from a very close friend. So the story is all about how I trusted a friend and I was able to lose a lot of money in the process. It's not out of gullibility, but it's just because I trusted this person, because I thought this person really wanted to have that dream of us working together and being able to have a story whereby we came up from nothing and were able to build something. First of all, I am a photographer and I am a person who loves entrepreneurship. That's why I am in this situation that I am in. So the story begins with me being a student in KU. Me being a student in KU, it exposed me to photography. I was a freelance photographer. Some might call it paparazzi. When I was in KU, there's a place called Arboretum. I used to go and take photos. That's why I got exposed to photography. It's a very long story, so I want to make it short so that I can be able to go back to this financial issue that I am talking about with this friend. So I got exposed to photography, and I really hustled a lot. I really put in so much effort taking photos for students, and hustling through taking photos at a very low price so that I was able to sustain myself. I got employed here and there because I had no money for a camera, and I was able to make some savings, and I was able to buy myself a camera. So to cut the long story short about the camera and how it started, I met this friend while I was doing this photography through a mutual friend of a photographer. They were like cousins, so we formed that friendship through me going to visit this photographer who was the cousin of this friend. So when I used to go to the house and see this photographer that I met in KU Arboretum, whereby we take the photos, I was able to meet this young man. So this young man became a friend of me. He's very younger than me. I was in second year heading to third year. So while working in Arboretum, which is in KU, I came to realize that the prices were very, very, very low because it was heavily saturated. The industry, the place whereby we were taking photos, it was heavily saturated and everybody wanted to make ends meet. And in that situation, the supply exceeds the demand because the students are being chased by the photographers, and that is not how this field works. I looked at it and I was it seemed very funny because we were giving value because of the good job that we were doing. So I decided that I'm not gonna go there. So the funny thing is, the moment I decided I was not going there, a photographer friend of mine called me one day in the it was a weekend, and he told me that he needed a lens. There's a lens that he needed that I usually had. So he told me to come to town. So being a friend of mine, I decided, let me just carry the lens and take it to him. So in the process of me giving him the lens in town, I came to realize that there was photography happening in town. It reminded this way back before people started having the saturation in photography became too much in town. It was very early. It was let me say 2022. Yeah, 2022. 2022 heading to 2023. Yeah. So I came to see that the business in town was very lucrative, unlike the one that was happening in Kenyatta University. So I decided, let me just try this, because this friend of mine was doing it, let me try also. So I told him I'm gonna come also and decide to do it, and tell me, try your luck. So I decided to come to town. I used to be hawking in town, begging and pleading people to take pictures. It was really hard, I have to say, really hard. It was really hard. And after I did it for some time, I decided to bring this friend. I mentioned this friend, this person that I'm involved in this business, that we can go to town and be able to do this business. We used to go with him, we hustle. Even if we make 1,000, I give him even 500. We did it for some while. We come to town, we literally beg people to take pictures. It was so hard. It was a really an arduous task, if that's what I can call it. It was really taxing to get clients, because you really have to have a good photo. You stop someone, you talk to them, and then you ask them for a photo. We did that for a while, and I was saving also. I was paying him. I can't say I was paying him poorly. I was giving him even half of what we could earn. So first, moving forward, I want to come to this business that I'm having here, whereby these are the records. These are the records that I am really in deep sorrow looking at them, and how much I was duped like a fool. To be honest, after the photography gig in town started becoming too saturated, I decided to join another partner of mine. Being a first thing, I decided to join a partnership with another photographer and start form a studio. So I shifted towards the studio and I started working on the studio. So in shifting towards the studio, this other guy, so I couldn't continue working with this other guy, and I felt so bad about it, because I know this guy, how much we had come from, the struggle that we have been through together, and I wanted also to help him. So I called him one day and told him, bro, I'm working at this studio, and I'm also trying to be able to grow myself, and I want you to also to grow, because I know how much we have come so far together. So I want you to look for a business, and I want you to be able to find a scalable business that I can be able to invest in you, and we can be able to grow together. If you can be able to find that business, we can be able to grow together. So I gave him that task, and he went, and I beat him well. So after some days, he came up with this plan of the selling chicken and everything. Selling chicken, which is yeah, to sell chicken, which is basically like an eatery. Let me say, like an eatery where we'll be selling chicken. I told him, have you found a location? And he hadn't found a location. So I told him, can you hunt down on the location? So he found a location, and basing from the location, I went and looked and viewed the location. The location was good. So on 27th of August, that is when we searched for the location. It was in Committee Road. So we found the location, and I was ready. I told him I'm gonna pay the deposit for the place. It was like a shopping. It was like a center whereby there was a garage, and the place that it was, it is like so many, like a person bought some land, and there's a garage out there. There are some places, there are some compartments whereby people can be able to own businesses. So we found a stall, and we decided that we're gonna be able to make this stall for the business. So me, I'm also working at the studio. So being that I work at the studio, I cannot be able to be involved deeply in the everyday makeup, in the everyday activities that involved him working on the business, on the space that we had found. So I gave him the responsibility of him running the 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 business, in terms of me collecting the workers, the fundis, and being able to make sure that everything looks okay. So when I look at this, all these monies here, all these monies, there's a lot of financial records here that I was keeping. These are monies that I used to send this guy. I used to send this guy monies about fare, anything to do with electricity, anything to do with buying the deep fryers for us to be able to manage this eatery, be able to fry the chicken and everything. Yeah, I used to give him finances because, why I gave him freely these finances was because I saw that this is a man that we have undergone so much troubles together, so much pain together. So why will he steal from me? Because I believe that if this business was gonna be able to grow, I was gonna be able to pay him in a very, very decent way. So I used to send him money whenever he's going to pick a chair from a place to go to bring to the place of business. I send him the money. I have the records. I have the monies that I was sending to him. You see, the funny thing is, this guy usually, I was told, after doing a deep investigation, I was told this guy was exaggerating the figures for the fundis, the figures for costs, the minimum costs here and there. The guy was exaggerating. The guy was giving me a false account of all the figures. Imagine, this is 20,800, 20,000 for electrician, for the repairs on the reception part, the repairs, everything. I was sending him faithfully. If he calls me and tells me it's 19,000 and he tells me this and this and this will be needed, I pay him without even asking questions, because I believed this is my day one, this is my brother. Only to just be shocked for me to realize that this brother was lying to me. You see, how did I know that this guy was lying to me? From September, August, September, the business wasn't bringing any profits. The guy could just call me and tell me that business is struggling here, and these stories here and there. Me being a person that has been involved in business before, that has failed, I was telling sometimes business takes time to pick, so we need to be patient, but we are going to be able to reach there. He used to share with me some records of the business, very, very dismal records that could make you just say that we are really struggling, but you're going to get there, because I had that belief. At least you're going to be able to pay the rent, you're able to pay the rent and everything. I really had that belief in him. That was my belief in him. You see, I used to say I sent him money every single day, about repairs, about some few things that we need to improve, like if we need to add some food stuff so that we can make this eatery to be able to attract more clientele. If people want more chips, we have been selling chips. Let us introduce something to do with pilau and everything in this place of business. Mind you, I was giving freely my hard-earned money, hard-earned savings that I denied myself just to run this business. It was really sad to see him do this, to know what he was doing. See, I was oblivious of all these lies, because sometimes he could show me some receipts. Sometimes after he showed me some few receipts, then sometimes he could just be transparent and show me some receipts. Sometimes I could just believe him. how naive I was. First, moving forward, we have we have only been recycling the money. Let's say we have been recycling the money because he has been paying rent, and he has been saying that you have not been able to make some good ends meet. So because he's working there and we are paying rent, and I'm not able to pay him because the business is not making profits the way he's saying. So I am telling him, the business is there and it's not making profit. Imagine there's a month. It was around October. I paid for his personal house rent after the business had already paid the rent, and he had told me the business was not able to bring any extra money. I went and paid the rent, his own rent. Imagine the ungratefulness. And how can you be able to you don't even have the guilt to steal from somebody who pays your rent? Somebody who just pays your rent. Somebody who, whenever he had any problem, he could call me and I could just give him. From the bottom of my heart, I could give him. If he needs 1,000, I give him. And still, the next one he can call me and tell me he needs 19,000. I send it to him. He needs 1,000. I send it to him. He needs 2,000 for the business. I send it to him. With the hope that at least this business is gonna be able to have a foot ground. Imagine September, October, November, December. We are only paying rent and making changes to the business. Fast forward coming to January. The guy comes to my place whereby I do the studio shoots, and he tells me that he has been attacked by thieves. He gives me a very convincing story. I say, okay, you were attacked by thieves. And then he tells me that while he was being attacked by thieves, there was a driver that was moving around that street that he was moving in the wild hours of the night, and the guy rescued him. Can you imagine? So I'm like, this story, okay, it's okay, it's you were attacked by thieves, and then somebody just rescues you, pulls you into the car. He tells me that somebody pulled him from the scene whereby he's being attacked, and then rushed him to another place and then gave him some first aid. I'm like, you are heading home, and then you were attacked by thieves, and then a driver, all of a sudden on the road, comes to your aid and rescues you. Okay, I said it's okay. I bought him some drink some milk, and I told him just drink the milk, and I was able to get him some amount of money. I gave him around 500, and I wished him and bid him well. Shock on me the next day. My instinct started telling me, why this story does not add up. Let me go to the place of business. I usually never, when I was going to the place of business, I usually used to inform him. So today I decided I'm not gonna be able to inform him. So I went there. The shock that hit me was that this guy had gotten himself in a fight after he was drunk, taking alcohol. After he had taken alcohol, he got intoxicated and started confronting people, becoming belligerent with people. And that's when a fight arose. He was fighting even with the neighbor. So many accounts of very, very funny things. Like the guy just became drunk and started fighting. And I'm being told the guy used to drink daily. That means he was making money and he was using the money to drink. Come on. How can somebody be that? How can somebody be that cruel? cruel. You just drink from money for a business, and you wake up the next day to call the person that you have swindled, me, and tell me that there's no money that is coming into the business. Okay. So in the process of him fighting, he lost his phone and everything. And then remember, this guy is telling me that he was attacked by thieves and they took his phone. Come on. I'm being told the guy was taking alcohol with the money from the business and everything. You know, I don't know, somebody I think informed him that I was there, and I think he put one and two together, that I have come to realize this story was wrong. So I came to ask myself, if this guy can lie to me about this incident, about him being robbed, how many occasions has he lied to me? So me, I've been trying to audit everything. I'm finding there are so many things that are missing there. There are so many inconsistencies in terms of the things that I'm seeing there and the things that he used to tell me. Because I was looking at the records and I'm saying, oh my God. I'm being told the guy was making this certain amount per day. The worker, the new worker who had not been accustomed to him, apparently was hiring workers and firing them. So this one I was lucky enough to meet him before he had fired him. So he told me an account of how much he used to be making per day. I was so saddened. And then the guy tells me he's sick, he cannot be able to come. He texts to a worker there, somebody who was working over there, that the worker should close the business and go home. Come on, can people be this cruel? Okay. So the guy has been taking me through turns and stories, taking me through zigzags and stories about him being sick after the attack. You know, I haven't even become agitated or showed him how angry I am. I was waiting for him to man up and tell me that I lied to you. He hasn't even. He knows that I know the truth, because he was informed that I was there. About his lies, you see, I'm being told there are some equipments that he used to take on loan from the other places and tell me, like he could take like a mirror. He could go to another place in that business, ask for the mirror to be placed there, to place at my business, and then tells me he has bought the mirror and I send him the funds for the mirror. In real sense, the guy has just taken the mirror from another place and he has brought it to the business, and he has told me that I should pay for it, and then I send him the money. Come on, how can you be that cruel? To be honest, I have spent almost 305,000 on everything on that business. I have lost 305,000. Imagine, looking at all these records, monies that I sent to him, monies that he used to drink alcohol, monies that he's used to. How can we grow as brothers when we do this to each other? How can we grow as brothers when we do this to each other? How can we foster brotherhood when somebody willingly, wholeheartedly, selflessly decides to help you and you betray his trust like this? Do you think even God in heaven is happy with that? Right about now, I'm contemplating going to the DCI. I don't know if I'll be helped, but at least it will be a lesson for so many. The guy has swindled me. The guy has really made me go through a financial struggle, because I really even took a loan to be able to finish this business. How can I be able to overcome this after I've lost all this money? Imagine selflessly giving to somebody so that I can be able to grow together. I have even the records of me sending him cash. I have records. I have records. I have records. I can, Jim. These are records. These are records. These are records. I can show the records clearly. Clearly. Why would somebody do this? Why would somebody be heartless to this level? This level of betrayal, financial plunder. Anyway, it's just a testimony. Anybody who can be able to assist, I'll be grateful. I have lost 305,637. My God, am I gonna be able to recover? I'm contemplating using law enforcement, but I don't know if I'll be able to recover. I have lost a considerable amount of my savings. I'm now almost bankrupt.